The table shook like it wanted to split. A paper slid across it, its edge sharp as a blade. Banker Templeton pushed it with 2 fingers, his gold ring dragging a scar into the wood. Cole's hand trembled over the pen. His knuckles were cracked from years of fence posts and rope burns, but they didn't look like hands built for writing anymore. Templeton leaned back, smiling without softness. Sin, or the sheriff moves you now. Sheriff Harlan shifted his weight by the door. His hat brim cut his eyes in shadow. His voice came low, tired. Don't make me do a thing we can't forgive. Cole's jaw set. His voice rasped like gravel under a boot. Forgive isn't in this room. Mara stood behind him, her hand on his shoulder, steadying what was left of him. Her eyes burned at the banker. We paid. You changed the numbers. Templeton smirked. Numbers don't change. People fail. The pen hovered, then dropped. Cole pressed hard, dragging his name across the page as if the ink itself resisted. When it ended, it looked less like a signature than a wound. The paper blade cut his name free from the land. Templeton folded the deed, pocketing it like it was no more than a receipt. He rose slow, his boots clicking hollow against the floor. Pleasure, doing business. The word burned. Business. Mara's breath hitched. Business doesn't starve families. Templeton's smile didn't break. It feeds mine. The room held silence after he left, but it wasn't empty. It was heavy. Cole pushed back from the table, the legs screeching. He stepped outside into the yard, where the brand fire popped and spat. The horses stamped and tossed their heads, restless, like they smelled a storm that hadn't come yet. He stared at the dirt. What do I have left? Mara followed, her voice low. Your name. His lips pulled tight. He took that too. The wind rose sudden, scouring the yard with grit. It found the old well by the barn. The stones moaned, deep and hollow, like a throat carrying secrets from below. Cole stopped, listening. He walked to the rim and looked down at the black circle that never ended. If the ground eats men, he said softly, it can eat a man like him. Mara caught his arm. Don't talk like a grave. He didn't look at her. He didn't look at anything but that dark hole. His reflection in the water was gone before it formed. Behind them, the sheriff cleared his throat. You've got until sundown to move your things. His voice cracked, the weight of his badge bending it. He touched the brim of his hat and walked away like a man ashamed of his own shadow. Mara turned back to Cole. We fight this. We find a lawyer. Cole's laugh was hollow. Lawyer's just another man with a knife made of paper. Templeton came out of the house carrying the folded deed, tucking it into his vest. He paused by the porch rail, his voice smug. It's only business. Cole's eyes locked on him. I'll learn business. Templeton tipped his hat as if the matter was settled. See that you do. Cole didn't move until the banker was gone. Then he bent down, picked up the eviction notice, and folded it neat, tighter with every crease until it looked like a map no one could read. He slipped it into his coat pocket as if it were something he meant to carry a long time. Mara's voice shook. Where are you going? He looked toward the tracks, the thin line of iron slicing the land. His face didn't soften. Not toward town. Then where? Toward the train. Tracks whisper a different life. Mara stepped after him. And me. He stopped, turned just enough to see her, his eyes sharp but not cruel. Guard what's left. I'll bring the rest back. The wind swept again, pulling at his coat, carrying the moan of the well across the yard. It followed him as he walked, the sound trailing like a vow. Mara watched until he was a shadow against the tracks. The horses quieted. The fires sank low. The house looked smaller than it had ever been, and the silence inside it was already shifting, already colder. Cole didn't look back. He carried nothing but the folded paper in his pocket and the hollow sound of the well in his head. The sound grew as the tracks drew near, a moan turning into a promise turning into something harder than land, sharper than steel. The paper knife had cut, and what it left behind was not a wound. It was a beginning. Cole stands on the platform, with a carpet bag and the wells moan in his ear. Smoke tastes like iron. Today, he keeps his face forward. Mara pushes through the crowd and presses a tin into his hand. "Don't let the city eat you," Mara says. "I'll eat it first," he says. "Father's notes," she says. "Names of those who bled for this valley. Names are doors," he says. A whistle splits the air. The trainman swings his arm. Boards moving. Tickets ready. By the freight stacks. Harlan waits with dust on his boots. "Cole," Harlan says. "You pick the side," Cole says. Harlan swallows. Sides pick. "Men, come back whole." Cole climbs the iron steps. The door snaps shut. Mara calls through steam. "What will you do?" "Learn how the knife was made," he says. He finds a seat by a dirty window. The tin rattles on his knee. The train jerks. Fields flip like pages. Fences streak past. He opens the tin and unfolds a letter. A neat hand writes a name. Sable and Stone Investment. "I'll be the hand that closes over theirs," he says. The woman across the aisle stares at her gloves. He shuts his eyes and lets the rhythm settle. He sees the yard after the signing, the fire low, the horses listening for a help that never came. He hears the well-turned wind into warning. He waits until the sound thins and the train gives him its own. The city rises in pieces. First a smear, then smoke making a ceiling, then rooftops like teeth. He opens his eyes and feels steady. The train slows. He stands with the tin and the bag and lets the crowd carry him out. The platform hits hard. Men call about rooms and cabs. Women move fast with baskets. A boy eyes his bag, then his face, and gives up. Cole breathes until the noise breaks into parts he can hold. "Hotel," a driver says. Later, Cole says, "Work, soon." He walks toward offices with gold names on glass. He doesn't know which door, only that there is a desk where men like Templeton learn their cut. He opens another letter as he walks. Numbers stack. Names repeat. His father's tight hand reads. "Watch the transfer company. Follow the wire room. 2 signatures, 1 pen." He stops and reads again. The words feel like nails. He shuts the tin and steps into the street. A clerk steps out, brushing crumbs from his vest. "You look lost," the clerk says. "Learning," Cole says. "From who?" "From you, if you talk cheap." The clerk grins. "You countrymen are all teeth." "Not all," Cole says. "Some are hands." "What's the tin?" "History," Cole says. Cole looks into the office. Ledger stack. Forms hang on a rack. Another clerk writes names into a book, like a fence no one else can open. "Where does Sable and Stone run from?" he asks. "Downtown," the clerk says. "Marble building, 4th and River. What makes men like them strong?" "Paper," the clerk says. "Paper and men who don't read it." "I read," Cole says. "And I remember." He steps back into the street. Smoke climbs. The sun is thin behind it. He keeps the tin tight and walks. A hawker shouts about news sheets. Cole buys one and reads the money page. He doesn't know every word, but anger teaches. By noon he has passed banks, insurance halls, and a room where men talk numbers into wires. He eats bread at a stand and counts doors in uniforms. He counts the places a name must pass to turn into power. He writes none of it down. A messenger clips him with a satchel and runs up polished stairs. Cole follows to the directory. Sable and Stone sits on the 3rd floor. He doesn't go in. He studies faces. The guard's hat touch. The elevator timing. A woman in a blue dress leaves with files. "You work for them?" he asks. "Today," she says. "What do they fear?" "Time," she says. "And light." He nods. "Me, too, once." He watches until the sun crosses the street. He learns the guard's shift. He learns which window shows the counting room. He learns where the alley meets the rear stairs. A plan clicks. When the bells mark evening, he turns toward the station hotel. He will take a room for one night. He will sleep with the tin on his chest and his boots on. He will wake before the street. On the steps he stops and looks at the smoke. He thinks of Mara holding the yard together. He hears Harlan asking him to come back whole. Cole makes a promise in plain words. "I'll come back," he says, "and I won't come back alone." Cole stepped off the morning street and into a room of ledgers and lamps. The air smelled like ink and hot wire. He kept the tin of letters in his coat and his eyes on numbers that moved like cattle but never breathed. The mentor accountant watched him from a green lamp circle. "You're asking the wrong questions," the mentor said. "Then tell me the right ones," Cole said. "What eats a bank? Debt bigger than its mouth. Or shame," the mentor said. Cole learned the floor by listening. He wore a cheap coat and a borrowed tie. He counted other men's cattle on paper. He watched mergers like drives. He watched foreclosures like brandings, stamps pressed over names until they stung. A clerk slid a stack his way. "You're fast," the clerk said. "I'm hungry," Cole said. He traced Templeton's holdings through shell names and sister ledgers. He kept a list in his head. He drew lines in air and saw the shape of a man built from paper. "He's fattened himself with risk," Cole said. "So you buy the butcher," the mentor said, "or the slaughterhouse?" They worked late. Lamps hummed. He learned the code. Men used to speak without being heard. He learned how a promise could be carved into clauses until it screamed and no one noticed. He saved every coin. He ate bread and thin stew. He slept in a room that smelled like soap and ghosts, his boots by the bed and the tin under his pillow. On Sundays he walked by the cathedral and didn't go in. He went to the courthouse archives instead. The archivist peered over spectacles. "What are you hunting?" "A wolf with a collar," Cole said. The archivist fetched boxers. Paper dust rose. Cole turned deeds, transfers, liens. He looked for the same hand behind different names. He found a slant in the 9. He wrote nothing. He kept it. He learned the capital's etiquette. Quiet voice. Strong handshake. Long memory. He stopped drinking. He started waiting. The mentor tested him. If a ranch folds in the West Valley, who eats first? The lender of the fence. And second, the man who owns the rail. And last, whoever held the shovel. "Good," the mentor said. "Hide. You'll win." Cole watched the partners at Sable and Stone. He copied their patience. He learned which porter hummed, which guard played cards, which assistant smiled only when a name rose on a wire. He found Templeton's thread again, a bond fed, a land company, which leased to a trust, which sold notes through a broker who signed for both sides. The same hand. The same tail on the T-dot. The mentor's cough deepened. "You see it now," he said. "I see where to pull," Cole said. "You pull too hard, and the roof comes down. On who? On everyone. Then I pull in pieces." At dusk, he watched Sable and Stone's windows glow. He counted the floors and the steps to the alley door. He counted how many times the watch checked his watch. In the wire room. He worked transfers and said little. He learned the root's money. Took when scared. He learned the words that made fear legal. He learned how to turn bars into keys by changing the order of the names. "That ledger in your head," the mentor said. "Does it have room for mercy?" "It has room for Mara," Cole said. "Then it may save you." He showed up early and left late. He turned a question into a favor and a favor into a document. He opened the tin and read his father's notes until the letters felt like his own bones. He stopped at a tailor and bought a dark coat paid in coins that felt like votes. The clerk measured him. "Promotion. Language," Cole said. "I'm learning it." "What kind?" "The kind that takes land and doesn't need a gun." Back at the office, the mentor closed a ledger. "You're ready to stop watching." "What?" Now we place a small stone where a lot of weight will step. Where Templeton's next raise, the mentor said. He's selling promise against weather. It'll snap if the mail slows. How do we slow the mail? We don't, the mentor said. We show the men who carry it a different road. Cole let the plan settle. He thought of the well's voice and the horses hearing a storm with no clouds. He thought of Mara telling him to come back whole. Numbers had been bars. Now they were keys. He knew how to turn. He picked up his hat and the new coat and the tin. I start tonight, he said. Start with patience, the mentor said. Finish with light. I will, Cole said. And he believed it. Cole left. The courthouse with a list under the tin. The hall smelled like chalk and rope. He counted steps to the sun and let the street's noise break into pieces he could hold. Numbers set in his pocket like nails. Who owns the debt that owns Templeton? He asked, at a broker's desk, built like a pulpit. The broker's eyes were pale. Why, I like the smell of it. You're late to this hunt. I brought clean boots. The broker laughed and opened a book. Fingers slid over names. Cole watched the rings and the breath and the pause when a page cost more. He asked for slivers and didn't blink. He bought timber rights along a ridge Templeton needed. He bought a thin loan book from a failed store that held 2 notes with teeth. He bought a lien on the rail spur no one cared for until the map turned. He signed steady and let the amounts look small. This is slow glory, the broker said. Slow holds, Cole said. Why not swing at the big one? I'm here to move weight. A ranch hand. Then, a still one, Cole said. The herd moves around a man who stands. Days found a pattern. Mornings at Sable and Stone, sorting paper and listening for fear. Afternoons in rooms that smelled like ink. Nights with the tin open and his father's notes laid flat. He wrote letters to Mara that were short because steadiness travels. I'm learning, he wrote. Hold the herd. Don't sell the mares. He pictured her by the stove, not asking for what he could not yet give. A boy brought a reply. He broke the seal. Mara's hand was firm. I'm holding, she wrote. The well sounds different. At night, Harlan says you sound colder. He read the last line twice. Cold holds shape. By week's end he owned 3 thin keys he could not yet turn. He kept them quiet. He watched Templeton's circle and saw where a short train delay would buckle one payment into another. A partner sent for him. The message bore a braided Essie washed, put on the dark coat that led him into careful rooms, and took the stairs. No elevators. She waited in a glass office. Black suit, clean hair, eyes that read before they asked. She moved one folder and spoke. You understand the terrain, she said. I grew up on it, he said. Ava Sable, she said. Hand out. Niece to the founder, Cole. Would you manage acquisitions out west? I'll manage one. Honest or foolish. Depends on the hill. She tapped the folder. You bought timber teeth, a failing loan book, and a spur lien. You hid the purchases under shells and paid in coins that don't rattle. You're not a clerk. I'm learning the language. Language is a weapon when it's quiet. Quiet travels. What do you want from Sable and Stone, eh? Window and a door. What do you want from Templeton? My name back. That's expensive. I brought time. She watched him like a rancher watches a horse think. He let the room measure him. The West is messy, she said. Men drink at noon and call it medicine. Sheriffs break wells, complain. Widows live on paper. Why trust you with our money? I know which mud holds a boot and which throws it back, he said. I know who is hungry and who is loud, and these slivers, I'll turn them until they catch. She opened the folder, maps, arrows, contracts. She slid a page. Show me how you close a hand. He drew lines and spoke low. Timing. The spur company owes interest to a trust. Templeton whispers too. If the train shifts 2 days, the trust misses cover. The loan book then matures into demand. The timber seller can't deliver, so the fence bid slips. Men who owe Templeton move first, he steps last. And who digs it? Gravity, Cole said. I marked the edge. We could help, she said, or warn him and sell you the rope. Both pay you. One makes you a story. Which do I want? The one you tell at dinner. Her shoulders eased. You'll need a line of credit and a clean title. I brought both, he said, and placed the folded list on the table. She read fast, then slower. You understand the terrain, she said again. I grew up on it. She stood. The city burned on the glass. He saw the well in his mind, the yard under Mara's hands, and Harlan's eyes that would not be forgiven first. He felt the train in his bones. Do we have agreement? She asked. He took her hand. The grip was dry and exact. He felt the world tilt toward home. The train slid in like it had never left. Same platform, same grit in the wind. Cole stepped down with a coat that carried paper and a weight that changed rooms before he reached them. He stood to feel the ground take him back. It held, hard and sure. He gripped the carpet bag and let the crowd break around him. Mara reached him first. Her eyes searched for wounds and found edges. You feel taller? She said. I feel measured, he said. Sheriff Harlan stayed at the edge, hat low, badge tired. You're in a suit, he said. I'm in your way, Cole said. A bell from the courthouse carried across the square. Men pretended it was for lunch. Women stopped pretending. The well by the freight office moaned low. Templeton stood on the bank steps with a smile built for postcards. He straightened his vest and called out, Welcome home, Mr. Bree said. Cole, he said. Agent for Sable and Stone, majority owners of your debt. The smile cracked. We can talk inside, Templeton said. We'll talk in the open, Cole said. People gathered, because people always do. A boy climbed a hitch post. Mara stood at Cole's shoulder. Don't draw first, she said. I'm holding the deed to his breath, Cole said. Harlan came closer, hands easy but ready. Keep your words clean, he said. I didn't pack forgiveness, Cole said. I packed contracts. Templeton laughed without sound. Agent, he said, you must be joking. Cole opened the carpet bag a few inches and let a corner of a folder show. Stamps. Signatures. A note from a trust that fed the bank when the mail was on time. The crowd didn't see the details. They saw Templeton see them, and that was enough. You've bought scraps, Templeton said. They won't hold. They already hold, Cole said. Timberites uphill of your survey. A thin loan. Book with 2 teeth that bite when the spur misses. A lien on the spur itself. Miss your wire by 2 days, and your roof gets light. Templeton's jaw worked like a man on a seed. Inside? He said again. Out here, Cole said. The well moaned. Cole kept his eyes on Templeton and let his voice ride low. You took our place with a paper knife, he said. I learned where the knife was made. I took what was owed, Templeton said. You failed. I changed the numbers, Cole said. Now they read my way. Mara's breath touched his sleeve. How far do you push? She asked. Until it tips, he said. Harlan shook his head. Lines mean guns, he said. Only if paper fails, Cole said. A bank door opened. A woman in a black suit stepped onto the steps. Ava nodded to Cole, then watched Templeton. Ava Sable, Templeton said. Surprise roughening his voice. Here to observe, she said. Then observe this, Templeton said. Agent Cole is grandstanding. Agent Cole is reading, Ava said, and I hear the words. Cole lifted a document so the seal caught the sun. Notice of cure and call, he said. Signed by Sable and Stone. Your note requires margin if freight slows. Freight slowed yesterday. You have until the bell at dusk to post. Templeton's color shifted. The spur was delayed by river work. Paper doesn't bend for river work, Cole said. Mara looked at Harlan. What happens if he can't post? She asked. Men get smaller, Harlan said. Buildings too. Templeton tried to smile and found the muscles wrong. Come inside and we'll arrange settlement, he said. In the open, Cole said. Say the truth where the town can hear it. Templeton squared his shoulders. You want apology, he said. I want return, Cole said. Farmhouse herd, water rights. You can rent your office from me until winter. A laugh snorted out of a man in the crowd and died when no one joined. You don't have the reach, Templeton said. I have your breath, Cole said, and the hand that closes over it. Ava checked a watch. Dusk bell, she said. The teller unlocked the door. Inside, clerks tried to look busy and failed. The town watched as if the sky might split. Templeton leaned close. Are you here as banker or avenger? He said. I'm here as rancher, Cole said. I learned a new fence. He stepped back, so everyone saw his face. The bank will honor its paper by the bell, he said. Or the bank will be sold by morning. The courthouse bell rang the hour. Templeton flinched. Men pretended it was for lunch. Women didn't pretend. The ground remembered, and the well spoke when a truth was ready to fall. Harlan breathed out. It's begun, he said. It finished when I signed, Cole said. This is just the reading. Cole held the steps like a corral and set a single page on the table. Someone slid into shade. The town pressed close without touching him. Mara stood at his right shoulder and Harlan at his left, counting words like bullets. Templeton faced the sun so his smile would shine, but sweat darkened his vest. Ava was not yet here. The numbers were, your loans roll to us at midnight, Cole said. We can foreclose on the bank. Extortion, Templeton said. Arithmetic, Cole said. Harlan's gaze stayed on the page. What do you want? The company that ate this valley, Cole said. I want its throat. Templeton barked a dry laugh. You can't. He can, Ava said, arriving quiet. She read the page like a prayer known. We take control. We appoint new leadership. We audit every transfer. A murmur started and stalled. Cole watched Templeton test his tongue for a lie that would walk. First transfer, Cole said. My family's land back for $1. I won't sign, Templeton said. Then you sleep in your lobby, Ava said. Mara's hand pressed, once at Cole's coat, not to steer him, only to confirm he was here. The well under the square gave a low breath. He kept his eyes on the man who sold breath by the pound. Make it clean, Harlan said. It will be clean like winter, Cole said. Templeton tried the crowd. Citizens, this is paper and strangers. Every stranger here was made by you, Cole said. He set a pen by the signature line. The audit starts today, he said. We pull every loan you sold to yourself and call every pledge you wrapped in smoke. You think you can run a bank with fear, Templeton said. I can end one with light, Cole said. Ava slid another document from her folio. Interim order, she said. Board authority transfers on majority debt control. You are relieved, pending review. By who? By those you taught us to trust, she said. Paper. Harlan's thumb traced his holster, a habit more than threat. Tell me again, he said. Every word counts. This line moves the notes, Cole said. This calls a default if the spur misses again. This binds the trust. This restores the ranch. $1 paid. Deed recorded before dusk. Why the rush? Templeton said. So you don't burn what you can't keep, Cole said. Mara spoke low. If he signs, do we go home today? We walked the fence before dark, Cole said. Templeton's ring clicked the table, the same sharp note from the day he stole. Guards at the door shifted and found nowhere to stand. That made sense. The town held its breath. Sign, Ava said. He stared at the pen like it had teeth. "You'll regret owning me," he said. "We're not owning you," Cole said. "We're ending you." Templeton dragged his name across both pages. The letters looked more like gravel than pride. He dropped the pen and squared his vest, as if order could pull the day back. "You think owning a company makes you a man," he said. "No," Cole said. "Returning what you stole makes me decent. Owning what you worship makes you small." Harlan exhaled and counted under breath so only Cole could hear. "One demand, one transfer, one threat, one promise." He nodded once. "4 bullets. Need 5. "I brought patience for the 5th, Cole said. Ava folded the documents and signaled a clerk. "Record them," she said. "Post notice. Freeze internal wires. Send for the auditor." "What about my staff?" Templeton said. "They'll be paid if they stay, and watched if they move," Ava said. Cole looked to the windows. Clerks pretended to work, shadows stitched to ledgers. He pictured Mara stepping into their doorway and the house breathing again. "Sheriff," Templeton said, "are you going to let these people unmake a town?" "I'm here to keep it from bleeding," Harlan said. "Clean is the word I heard." Templeton tried to rally the steps and found no air returned. "The deed," Cole said. Ava put the stamped paper in Mara's hands. She read the names, then pressed the sheet to her chest like heat. "Say it," Cole said. Mara met his eyes. "Home," she said. The square loosened. Someone laughed, then covered it like a spill. The well moaned, not warning now, but memory shifting deeper. Templeton stared at the ground. "You'll find snakes in those books," he said. "We brought a hoe," Cole said. He turned to Harlan. "Count the rest," he said. "Make sure Winter stays clean." Harlan tipped his hat. "I'll count every word like bullets," he said. Cole nodded. The page lay flat, signed twice. The wind moved, and, for the first time in long while, it did not taste like loss. Cole and Ava sat with boxers stacked like walls around the counting room. Dust lifted when a lid came off. Cole kept the tin of letters near his elbow and the deed near his heart. He listened for the bank's nighttime groan that answered the well, whose idea was the ghost ledger. Ava said. The clerk wouldn't meet her eyes. Young ink on his cuffs, a habit of licking his thumb. "Mr. Templeton's," he said. "Deceased debtors that still paid." "From where?" Cole said. "From no address," the clerk said. "Just deposits that arrived when they were due." Mara came in with her sleeves rolled and father's letters tied with a blue cord. She set the stack down and flipped 2 names written in the old hand that knew the valley by weight. She ran the column and stopped twice. "They billed the dead," she said. "They fed off grief," Cole said. Ava pulled the ledger close. Notes carried dates after funerals, after burials, after years with no harvest. "How many?" she asked. The clerk swallowed. "We only kept the ones that paid." "Who sent the money?" Cole said. He shrugged. "The envelopes weren't kept." At dusk, the floorboards gave a tired creak. Coins rattled in a drawer no one touched. The janitor lifted his mop and looked toward the vault. "I hear them count," he said. "Me too," Cole said. They worked into the night. Harlan sat by the door with his chair back to the wall and his eyes on any hand that moved wrong. When he spoke, it was to name a father or son or widow as each line appeared. Cole found a cluster of payments tied to a rebate list. Small credit here, a rounding there, a charge that never reached the customer but landed in a private pool. He traced the path and tapped the line. "Skim?" he said. "How big?" Ava said. "Wide enough to flood," he said. "Look at this signature. A cousin to a man who signs for the governor's office." Ava's jaw set. The knife had many hands. "Cut them all," Cole said. Harlan shifted. "You're stirring more than you think," he said. "They stirred first," Cole said. Mara read another letter. He wrote that men came at night with forms, she said. They told him the bank owned the rain. He signed to keep us through winter. Cole felt the old house in his ribs. The bank groaned when the wind leaned, a noise like rope over stone. Ava closed the ghost ledger and tied the cover with red string. We pull every file that matches these names, she said. We call any balance satisfied, and we write to the families with apology and check. And we keep copies for the district court, Harlan said. Every page, Ava said. The clerk dared a glance up. Am I going to jail? He said. Did you sign the orders? Cole said. No. Then you'll sign the statements, Cole said. And you'll stand when the widows come. The janitor set his mop aside. Vault's been talking, he said. Feels like wind, but there's no window. They opened the vault, air metal and cold. Cole set the lantern on the floor and crouched by a lower shelf where petty rebates were filed. He traced a column that looked harmless and found the same slant in the 9 he had followed in the city. The line led to a shell that led to a law firm that paid a brother who paid a cousin who hosted the governor's man. Higher than Templeton, Cole said. Ava nodded once. We expected it. Harlan rubbed his temples. You break that wall, and the town shakes, he said. The town is already shaking, Cole said. Listen. The coins rattled again. The sound came like counting in a dry throat. No one moved until it stopped. What do we tell the valley? Mara said. The truth, Cole said. Tell it like price, not story. Ava drew up a list. Tomorrow we post names and balances cleared, she said. Invite any family named here to the lobby. Pay what was taken, and ask for sworn statements. Templeton will try to smear it, Harlan said. He can try, Cole said. He doesn't own Dusk anymore. They finished the first box and started the second. The well answered from the square. Cole felt the deed, the letters, the suit he still didn't like, and the valley's eyes. Ava kept her pen. We'll need guards at dawn. You'll have them? Harlan said. Whistle if the coins start again, the janitor said. I want to hear them lose count. Cole closed the ledger and rested his hand on it. He looked at Mara. We finish this, he said. We finish, she said, softly now. The black car stopped at the curb. A woman stepped down, silk over dust, perfume braided with law. The driver wrote in a book. Cole waited in the vault doorway, with Ava and Mara behind him, Harlan at the counter. The well moaned under the door. Now, Ms. Keene, Ava said. Keene inclined her head. The governor thanks you for stabilizing our bank. It was never ours, Cole said. Now it is, Keene said. You'll keep Templeton. You'll return certain files. No, Cole said. You misunderstand the ask, Keene said. You misunderstand the valley, Cole said. Ava came even with him. We prefer subpoenas to smiles. The driver noted faces. Mara watched his pencil. Write my name twice, she said. Keene ignored it and brushed ledgers. You've stirred old accounts, she said. The ghost ledger is a clerical quirk with bad optics. Order is delicate. Some rebates touched family. Some wires crossed offices. Close that box. Let Templeton resume as a sign of confidence. Confidence for who? Ava said. For people who vote, Keene said. People who bury, Mara said. Keene faced Cole. You don't want this fight. We already had it. You weren't here, Cole said. You'll find the law is a room I know, Keene said. I can close windows. You didn't know we're open. Power arrives wearing perfume and law, Ava said. We smell both. Our office can extend credit to ease your transition, Keene said. Your audit can be summarized. Your press can be managed. In exchange, you keep Templeton nominally in place, return the rebate files, and refrain from naming the governor's cousin, the cousin who skimmed. Cole said. Language, Keene said. Plain language, Cole said. No? Harlan looked toward the door. They'll come at night, he said. So do bad dreams, Cole said. Keene studied the shelves. You think fear is with me, she said. It's always with whoever breaks the peace. Fear changes sides, Ava said. The driver stepped closer. Name? He asked. Cole, Cole said. Agent for Sable and Stone. Ava added. Agent can become defendant, Keen said. Only if the widows lie. Cole said. Keen set a card on the counter like a thorn. My number, she said. Call before you post names. Call before you send checks. Call before you frighten families. They were already frightened, Mara said. By envelopes, with no return. The governor thanks you for stabilizing our bank, Keen said again. He expects cooperation. He can expect, Ava said. We'll wait for the subpoena. Keen's eyes went to Harlan. Sheriff, you understand whose peace I keep. I understand mine, Harlan said. It's the one inside this room. Keen stepped closer, so only the three of them heard. You're making enemies who don't carry badges, she said. They carry ledgers, Cole said. We opened one. Close it, Keen said. No, Cole said, like a door catching. Sure. Keen turned for the lobby. Ms. Sable, business runs on favors. Business here runs on fences and winter, Ava said. The driver snapped his book shut. We have what we need, he said. You think you hold a story, Keen said. Stories fray. Governments hold. We prefer ledgers, Ava said. They total, and we prefer doors, Cole said. We open them. Then hear me, Keen said. Keep Templeton. Return the files that name the cousin. Issue no letters without approval. Hear us, Ava said. No, no, and no. The governor will speak, Keen said. Let him, Cole said. She walked to the door. The driver drew a last line as if crossing them out. Outside, the car idled. Sun laid a white bar across the floor. You just turned the wind, Harlan said. It was already turning, Cole said. Mara slid the card into the trash. Write my name twice, she said again, quieter. Ava opened a new box. Back to work, she said. We post at noon. We call the widows first. Put a deputy at the door, Harlan said. 2, when dark comes. 3, Ava said. They returned to the vault, Paper whispered. Names rose and matched dates that should not have numbers. Cole kept his finger on a column that pointed past Templeton. To the cousin, to the firm, the same slant in the 9 from the city. They'll try to break us with quiet, Ava said. We have quiet too, Cole said. The building breathed. The well moaned again, longer, a sound that crawled under the bank door, as if the ground itself wanted in. The coins moved without hands, and then were still. Harlan's palm settled near his badge. Mara stood straight and didn't blink. Post the names, Cole said. Post the checks, Ava said. Hold the herd, Mara said. I'll sit the night, Harlan said. We all will, Cole said. Let them bring their smiles. Night settled over the square. Cole kept the deed close and listened. The well beyond the freight office moaned again, longer, like the ground wanted witnesses. He looked at Mara, and she was nodding. They took a coil of rope, a lamp, and the kind of prayer that wastes no words. They crossed dust that remembered boots. The well stones sweated a pale damp. Cole looped the rope through the hitch ring and tugged twice. You believe in this? Mara said. I believe in evidence, he said. He sparked the lamp and lowered it until the light was a coin. The rope rasped. Wind rose and fell with it, as if something below breathed with their hands. Hold, Mara said. The lamp touched water and steadied. Metal glinted near a pocket where mortar had fallen out. Bones rested with patient silence. Something small rattled against stone. Is that ours? She said. It's everyone's, he said. He set a hook, climbed down 3 rungs, boots biting rock, shoulders brushing the shaft like a narrow memory. He caught a tin shape and cinched it into the sling. The lamp shook once and went still. They hauled together, slow and even. The box rose cold and heavy, a tin scarred by rust and a dented lid. Water ran off in a sheet. Cole pried it with his belt knife. Inside were IOUs stamped with Templeton's ring, dates as recent as last rain, and as old as the hard year when boys turned into hands. A deputy's badge lay cracked across the middle. A page in a clerk's neat hand began with apology and kept going until ink thinned. He threw it all down here, Mara said. He used the well like a fire, Cole said. Footsteps came from the square, steady and unhidden. Harlan's jaw was tight when he reached them. He took in the rope, the lamp, the box, and the way both of them stood. Bag everything, he said. Will you testify? Cole said. Yes, Harlan said, and the words sounded like a latch catching. He pulled cotton gloves from his pocket. He lifted each paper, counted dates, and named the dead under his breath while Mara held the sacks. They filled the sacks and set the empty box aside. The wind dropped. The well breathed a wordless breath that almost formed a name and then didn't. Harlan looked at the circle. You're going to drag a lot of people into daylight, he said. They lived in daylight while they did it, Cole said. Templeton will claim forgery, Harlan said. The ring says otherwise, Cole said. The clerk wrote the truth, Mara said. Harlan faced the road like he expected the black car to grow from it. They'll come early, he said. Then we start earlier, Cole said. Post copies, seal the rest. Call the judge at dawn. Harlan rubbed the back of his neck. You two sleep, he said. We keep the watch, Mara said. It's a vigil now. She set the box on the cap like an altar and stood by it, with her chin lifted and her hands sure. The square leaned quiet. Coins rattled in a bank drawer with no hands on them. A shutter tapped, counting and stopping. Somewhere, a dog objected and gave up. The lamp flame bent and rose. Cole looked into the well until the dark smoothed into honest black. What did you hear? Mara said. A future, he said. He meant plain names read in open air, widows paid in full, a badge set back on a coat that would face a jury. He meant a valley ready to speak without permission. Harlan rested his palms on the stones. Keep your evidence with you, he said. I'll sit the steps. You sure? Cole said. I'm tired of counting alone, Harlan said. Tonight, we count together. He took the sacks and the badge and the confession page as if they balanced an older weight he had carried too long. He started toward the bank without hurry. Mara lowered the lamp and handed Cole the rope. He coiled it and put the tin box under his coat. They walked back with the well behind them, but the sound followed, steady, a breath that didn't ask leave. The night was the kind that makes a man decide. Tomorrow, Mara said. Tomorrow, Cole said. He kept his step even, one foot, then the next, and felt the land lift under him just enough to say yes. The courthouse smelled like dust and heat. Boxes were stacked like bricks along the aisle, tied with twine and marked by hands that learned to count. Cole stood with Ava, Mara, and Harlan by the first table. People filled benches until the rails groaned. The well's moan felt carried in and settled under the floor. Cole kept his voice even and watched the judge. Ava lifted a ledger and spoke without hurry. We're dissolving Templeton's board. Templeton rose fast. You can't. We just did, Ava said. Papers rustled. Cole set the tin box on the table and opened the sack from the well. He placed the cracked badge, the confession page, and the stamped IOUs where everyone could see them. The clerk whose hand wrote the confession stood with his cap in both fists. The judge nodded. The clerk read, slow enough to live it. I kept false books, he said. I charged widows who owed nothing. I sent envelopes with no return. Silence counted 3. The judge cleared his throat. The room will remain quiet. A woman in a black dress lifted her chin. They billed my husband after the dirt covered him. The widow said. Not anymore, Mara said. Cole stepped beside her so his words reached the benches. We will repay what was taken where the books show theft, he said. We will post names and checks. The valley will see every line. Keen sat near the back. Silk turned to court-cloth. You'll ruin the state's trust, she said. Trust is already ruined, Cole said. Ava tapped a board order. Templeton is removed. An interim team will manage assets until elections are held. Templeton forced a smile. You plan to give a bank to a mob? To the owners, Ava said. They were owners before we read the paper. Harlan stepped forward with his badge heavy. I caused harm by looking away, he said. I won't again. Cole felt the town sway between pride and shame. He watched the judge take it in, his pencil quiet. Is this vengeance or repair? The judge asked. Both, but we'll do it clean, Cole said. Keen stood now. The governor calls this reckless, she said. We count, Ava said. You may watch. Harlan set a box on a second table and cut the string. Deeds, liens, rebates, he read names. Mara nodded when a widow reached the rail. The crowd breathed with each figure. Each check thunked like a small hammer. The judge raised a hand. Order. We are not a market. We are a ledger made public, Ava said. Templeton's voice went thin. I demand counsel. Take all you want, Cole said. Bring them daylight. A storekeeper called from the back. If the bank changes hands, what do we call it? Call it common, Mara said. Ava smiled like a blade she respected. Common Bank and Company, she said, owned by the valley. Keen exhaled. You have no charter. The charter follows control, Ava said. The judge rubbed his brow. We are not here to rename, he said. We are here to decide what to do with the carcass. Cole met his eyes. We sell what is rotten, we keep what feeds, we pay what is owed, and we vote on the rest, he said. Fire sale for the dead wood. Harlan lifted another deed. Auction the townhouses Templeton kept for friends, he said. Return the pasture lease to families by draw. A mill worker stood. What about our notes? You keep what you earned, Cole said. Fraud is forgiven. Debt, that was. Fair remains. The judge leaned back. Then we convene as meeting, he said. Not trial. Clerk, read the motion. The clerk read, dissolve the board, appoint an interim slate, including Ava Sable, Sheriff Harlan, Mara Cole, and 3 elected merchants, post the ghost ledger, issue restitution checks, schedule elections, rename the bank upon transfer. Hands rose. Men, women, a boy at the door, lifted his hand until his mother pulled it down and lifted her own. The judge counted aloud. Harlan counted under his breath. The numbers met. The motion carries, the judge said. Templeton sagged into his chair. Keen opened her eyes. Cole looked at Mara. Relief came without a smile. He felt the well under, the floor in the house down the road, like a weight placed right. We're not done, Ava said. We audit until nothing left groans. Post a sign, Mara said. Common, the storekeeper said, writing it twice. Cole gathered the papers and the badge. He spoke low to Harlan. Walk me back. Every step, Harlan said. The meeting emptied to the sound of boots and the rustle of money turning honest. The town decided itself with weight of hands. Outside, wind lifted and did not taste of fear. Cole turned the key to Templeton's mansion and felt the cylinder give with a tired click. The door swung heavy and quiet. The foyer smelled like flowers and lies, sweet on top and chemical underneath. Mara moved in first, palm grazing the frame, eyes taking the hall where mirrors made a tunnel of borrowed faces. It smells like flowers and lies, she said. I can't live here, he said. They walked room to room. The parlor wore velvet that hadn't been sat on. A piano kept its lid shut. A bowl of crystal held fruit that wasn't fruit. A child's marble rolled from under a couch when Mara lifted the skirting. It clicked along the baseboard and stopped against Cole's boot. Leave it, Mara said. Who lost it? He said. Someone who didn't get to play long, she said. They found the study. Ledger spines lined the wall like fences. A Bible lay open with a page tucked under the ribbon. Mara lifted it with 2 fingers. He prayed with one hand and stole with the other, she said. Don't let me, he said. Ava's voice came from the threshold, even and dry. Power is a room. Keep the door open. If I close it, break it down, he said. He read the tucked page. It wasn't scripture. It was a ledger leaf, a list of fees that turned help into hunger. In the margin, a neat hand had written, maintain optics, delay past harvest. He wrote sermons to money, Mara said. We'll copy every page, Ava said. Upstairs the hall stretched longer than it needed to. Rooms looked dressed for someone who never arrived. The wardrobe held suits sorted by season and pride. Cole opened a drawer and found keys labeled 4 doors the town had never known. In a small room with pale paint, sunlight made a square on the floor. The marble on the sill caught it and threw a stripe across the hall. Inventory goes to common, Ava said. We keep what serves and sell what performs the man he wanted to be. He wanted worship, Mara said. Then the pews go first, Ava said. Cole stood at a window and traced the ridgeline with his eyes. From here, he could see the old pasture, the barn roof scar, the fence corners he had fixed with his father. When money was thin, he waited for pride. It didn't come. It's a good view, Mara said. It looks back, he said. They went down to the kitchen. Copper pots shone, the stove was spotless, and the pantry jars of buttons were sorted by color. I can't live here, he said again. You won't, Mara said. You'll work here until the town stops, needing proof, Ava said. Then you'll lock it behind you. Don't let me turn into him while I'm counting, Cole said. Count out loud, Mara said. They circled back to the study. Cole took the banker's chair and stayed upright when the leather tried to teach him to lean. He wrote on a clean page, Do not become what the room asks. He dated it and set the pencil down where the next hand would have to see the line first. You look wrong in that chair, Mara said. Good, he said. Ava opened a safe behind a painting and pulled a folder marked personal. Inside were calling cards, receipts for flowers, timed to foreclosures, a list of gifts to officials. This house is a ledger, Ava said. And a mask, Mara said. We'll show both, Cole said. They opened windows. Air moved slow, then steady. The house breathed and gave up a long-stored scent of polish and smoke. A mirror by the stairs caught Cole small in one angle and taller in another. He didn't trust either. He walked to the foyer and looked back down the hall. Every mirror showed a piece of him he didn't want. He turned them to the wall, one by one, until the tunnel broke. Superstition, Ava said. Maintenance, he said. Mara found a box of photographs under the stairs. Families placed for show, hats perfect, eyes unsure. She set the box on the table. We return these, she said. Common will post a notice, Ava said. They stood in the quiet that followed the work. Distant horses called. The well sent a faint breath through the open door. Cole felt the house decide whether to fight or yield. It yielded in inches. Will you sleep here? Mara said. Not a night, he said. Good, she said. Ava closed her folder. Power is a room, she said again. Keep the door open. If I close it, break it down, he said. He returned to the window by the desk. The glass held a smear from his hand. He could see pasture, stubborn. He didn't smile. Morning. Set a clean edge on the square. A line formed outside the bank that would soon be common. Hats in hands, ledgers under arms. Cole stood at the window and saw, faint in the glass, his pasture and the door he had promised to keep open. Mara tied a ribbon on envelopes. Are we ready? She said. No. We start anyway, he said. Ava came from the office with a velvet bag. You sure about this? She said. I'm done being owned, Cole said. The clerk straightened his visor. Name of the institution, he said. Common, Mara said. Say the long form, Ava said. Common Bank and Company, Cole said. Ava lifted the seal, metal round and heavy. She inked it and offered it. Now, she said. He brought the stamp down. It struck flat and certain and seemed to travel through the counter. Outside, heads lifted as if they felt it. Mara unhooked the rope. Open, she said. A widow crossed first, the one from court. She carried her husband's pocketbook and a bill that had chased him underground. Not anymore, Mara said. Cole stamped a receipt and slid a check. For what was taken where the books show theft, he said. A mill hand followed. My father's loan, he said. He won't pay again, Cole said. Outside, men set a ladder against the signboard. The old letters shone proud and false. Harlan steadied the ladder. Templeton stood with his hat in both hands. Ava stepped to the door. Take it down, she said. Wrenches clicked. Screws turned. Metal scraped wood. Templeton edged forward and stopped when Harlan looked at him. You can't erase me, he said. We're not erasing, Cole said. We're writing over. And we'll read it out loud, Harlan said. Another ledger came forward. Stacked fees, the clerk said. Unstack, Ava said. A seamstress laid a doubled bill. Cole stamped and met her eyes. Ava leaned close. Keep pace. No speeches unless asked. Short ones when asked, Cole said. Keene's car rolled past without stopping again. You're buying favor, Templeton said. We're balancing, Ava said. You'll bleed the bank dry, he said. We're cleaning the wound, Cole said, and brought the seal down. The last bolt let go with a twist. The letters came off in a sheet and lowered into hands. They set the name on the boards like a shed skin. We melt it, Mara said. Make nails for fences, Cole said. Make bells for doors, Ava said. They raised a canvas with the new name. People clapped like thunder with manners. Cole did not take it as victory. It felt like a funeral done right. Inside, the line kept its river. Harlan walked it and back, tipping his hat to widows and hands with scars. Any trouble? Cole said. Only ghosts, Harlan said. Let them watch, Mara said. An old rancher held a deed worn thin. Do I sign as new? He said. You sign as honest, Ava said. Restitution marked. Balance fair. Cole stamped, slid a receipt, and took the man's hand. The courthouse bell struck noon. The clerk pointed with his pencil. 3 years of a fee never owed, he said. Undo every one, Cole said. And this, forgive it. Mara stacked envelopes for families who couldn't come and wrote names large. I'll ride them at dusk, she said. I'll go with you, Harlan said. Templeton stared at the canvas until the letters stilled. You think names change the ground, he said. They change who stands on it, Cole said. Step aside. He moved 2 inches. It let a mother through with a baby and a tax bill. Folded like a threat. Cole stamped, and the threat lost its teeth. Ava checked the clock. 20 minutes to the bell, she said. We close with statements. Say them short, Harlan said. Ava looked to Cole. He stepped to the threshold, so those in and those out could see him. This is not victory, he said. This is correction. If we fail you, throw us out and choose better. If we wrong you, bring it here in daylight. If we help you, help the next person in line. The clerk lifted the last page. Sign, he said. Cole signed under the round mark that said common and felt the room accept the name the way it accepts rain. Mara didn't smile. She didn't need to. Outside, the well's moan faded, softer now, like the ground had said its piece. People drifted without hurry. Harlan set the old letters on a wagon. Mara gathered envelopes. Ava cleaned the seal and returned it to Velvet. Cole stood under the new name and let the day measure him. Are we ready now? Mara said. No, he said. But the door is open. Night held the bank to a hush. Lights were low, shades half drawn, ledgers open like wounds that healed wrong. Cole worked with his coat off, sleeves rolled, the seal by his hand and the deed under a blotter. He never moved. The sign outside made a pale square on the floor. He did not check the clock. The well in the distance was quiet. "You haven't eaten," Mara said. She set a tin plate of bread and beans by his elbow and waited. "I owe more than hunger," Cole said. "You can't pay with your soul," she said. "Whose should I use?" He said. Ava came from the back office with folders. "Use the company's," she said. "That's why we made it. And me," Cole said. "You're not a martyr," Ava said. "You're a manager." He laughed without humor. "That worse," he said. "Sometimes," she said. "But it lasts." Mara slid a ledger toward him. 3 years of fees never owed, she said. "Widow Sanchez, 2 sons, 1 calf-born breech. They paid interest on a debt that died with the old man. We repay with interest," Cole said. "And we write the apology like an invoice. Plain." Ava nodded. "Repayment by street, not favor," she said. "No exceptions. Especially for friends," Cole said. He pushed the plate aside and took the pen. "Read the next." Mara read names until her voice thinned. They signed and stamped and called. They sat with widows whose hands shook and widows whose hands were steady as posts. They listened to men who cursed and men who cried. Cole wrote checks he wished were larger and promises he meant to keep. He kept faces from settling too deep, or he would not sleep at all. Between calls, Mara said, "You miss the house." "I miss the field," he said. "The house has mirrors." "Mirrors tell the truth," she said. "Not his kind," he said. "They say you're tall when you're small, and small when you're proud." "The cost isn't just money," Ava said. She pointed to a column. Here the cousins skimmed again. Here Templeton rounded a drought into a rule. "We fix both," Cole said. "Then write the rule so a tired clerk can't bend it." A widow stepped in, though hours were done. She held the notice Mara had written and the look of someone who'd stood in lines too long to fear another. "You bought the name," she said. "We bought it back," Cole said. "And the cost?" She said. "We pay it together," he said. She nodded. Mara poured coffee and sat with her while Ava wrote the release. Cole stamped the check and turned the seal toward her. She didn't smile, but the room lost weight. When she left, Mara leaned her forehead to the glass. "They'll keep coming," she said. "Good," Cole said. "A line means we're still here." "You haven't eaten," she said again. "I will when it's quiet," he said. "It won't be quiet for a year," she said. "Then I'll eat standing up," he said, and hurt himself. Ava stacked finished files. "Listen," she said. "The company can hold blame. That's the point. It's a box for anger and thanks. You hand it both, and you go home with what's left of you." "What if there's not much left?" he said. "Then we stop before you go soft where you need to be strong," she said. "You get 1 break a day, not for bread, but air." Mara folded his hand around the spoon. "Eat," she said. "Let the company pay with paper. Let your body pay with beans." He ate because she was right, and because his hand shook when he tried to sign. The food steadied him. He took the next file and found a note from a clerk who had been brave the day he wrote it. It said, "I'm sorry." It said, "I kept quiet for my children." It said, "Please don't let it be for nothing." "It won't," Cole said, and didn't know he'd spoken until Mara touched his arm. They finished the stack for the night. They set repayment schedules with both their names. They wrote instructions for the morning line and left space for change. They cleaned the counter the way a man cleans a tool after good work. Ava put on her coat. "Go home," she said. "Both of you. I'll lock you." "Sure," Mara said. "I'm sure," Ava said. "I'll sit with the ledgers until they sleep." Cole turned off lamps until one was left. He stood in the doorway and looked at the sign. It glowed one word. He felt the well hold its breath. He pressed his palm to the door he had promised to keep open. And let the night say yes. Morning drew a hard line across the lobby floor. Cole stood in the doorway until the light reached the counter. Mara stacked envelopes. Harlan checked the latch and the view to the street. The door opened. Keene walked in with 2 state men. Templeton lingered behind them like a shadow that refuses to learn. Congratulations, Keene said. The governor requires a supervisory board appointment. On what law? Cole said. On what happens when you say no, Keene said. You tried that already, Ava said, stepping from the back with a ledger and a calm that traveled. Keene tipped her chin toward Templeton. He smoothed his vest by habit. You need me, Templeton said. We need silence, Mara said. Take yours. Harlan stepped close enough that everyone saw the badge and the hand near it. This building belongs to the valley, he said. You can enter as citizens. Or you can leave as trouble. You can't stand against the state, Keene said. We're not standing against, Cole said. We're standing for. For what? Keene said. For the dead who paid while buried, Cole said. For names that were sold. For the... well, that kept their proof. Poetry won't survive audit, Keene said. Truth will, Cole said. Ava set the Wells tin box on the counter. Coins inside settled like rain. The room went quiet. Keene studied the line already forming. Not just men, not just landowners. Hands that cleaned, hands that stitched, hands that hauled. A boy gripping his mother's sleeve. This is not over, Keene said. It is for you, Cole said. She left without the smile. Templeton followed, smaller than the doorframes. Mara looked at Cole. You look tired, she said. I'm clean tired, he said. What now? Harlan said. We run a company like it's a neighbor, Cole said. Ava unfolded a notice she had written in the small hours. Then we post simple rules, she said. No fee without service. No lien without witness. No paper without a person we can name. Post it, Cole said. Harlan unlocked the doors wide. Morning came in on boots and careful hats. The first man removed his hat. Do we sign again? He asked. You sign honest, Mara said, and you keep a copy. A woman brought a tax bill that had doubled by mistake. Cole stamped the release. No one pays a ghost, he said. She touched the tin box and left with her shoulders new. A ranch boy stretched on his toes. Mr. Cole, will my ma's note change? It'll change to fair, Cole said. Tell her noon. I'll sit with her. Paper moved. Names were read. Harlan walked the line and the windows. Ava kept the desk clear and the pace even. They'll come again, Harlan said. Then we'll be here again, Cole said. Common doesn't swing, Ava said. But we don't step back. Mara placed a biscuit in Cole's hand. Eat, she said. At mid-morning, the driver came alone with a sealed envelope. Ava broke it. Request for records concerning the new trust. Deadline today, she said. Copy everything and send it, Cole said. Post copies for the valley. If they read us, they read with us. They'll call that provocation, Harlan said. They already call us worse, Cole said. We'll stay clean. Templeton's hat never reappeared. The line thinned to mothers with ledgers and men with receipts smoothed. Too thin cloth. A widow sat at the side desk after hours. You bought the name, she said. We bought it back, Cole said. And the cost, she said. We pay it together, Cole said. She folded the check and held it like proof of ground. Harlan pulled a chair near the door for an old man, who would not stop coming even when done. Children traced the new sign with dusty fingers and smiled at the roundness of common. Neighbor work, Harlan said. All day, Cole said. And tomorrow, Mara said. And after, Ava said. Keene did not return. The lobby settled into the sound of pages turning into fairness. Cole kept the door open. On what law do we live? He asked. Not loud, on the one we read out loud, Mara said. Cole put his hand on the tin box, and then on the counter smooth from years of small harms. Post it again, he said. Harlan locked eyes with him. You sure you want this fight to be yours? It already belongs to the valley, Cole said. I'm just carrying my side. Then carry it steady, Ava said. And eat again. At dusk, Cole said. The well breathed once, quiet and sure for us. Inside, the clock kept time that belonged to the people in the room. The day went on the way days should when fear has somewhere else to stand.